Hi, travelers. Tara here, and we're going to do a quick open reading. I've been up since 3:30 this morning watching the royal wedding. I don't know if y'all saw it, but when Prince William and Prince Harry stepped out of their little Mercedes van, they had swagger for days, and I was like, "Ooh, ain't no swagger like royal swagger." They were swaggering. So anyway, it was a lovely ceremony. Um, and it's just wonderful. So what we're going to do is just kind of open the cards. I'm going to do the crossroads reading and see what the cards have to say. Website members, I am working on finding a gallery. I still haven't been able to find a gallery, so I'm still working on that. And I've also I'm going to start the Pass It On Rewards program for you membership. So I'm trying to put that together, write it all out, and then I'll be sending out a newsletter about it. Okay, so make sure if you haven't signed up for the newsletter and you're already a website membership, please sign up for that. Um, I'm also gonna probably offer a sale or something. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I need to be doing something. I'm not exactly sure what I need to be doing. And be looking for your transit watch post to come out. Okay. I don't think I sent out a newsletter last week. I've got a lot going on with my daughter. She is leaving eighth grade, going to ninth grade. They're giving them a prom, which I think is so kind of crazy for eighth grade. But anyway, um, the new high school that she will be going into is a magnet school. So once she completes high school, she will also have her associate's degree. And she's also doing a summer volunteer program at the local hospital. So I've had a lot going on. It's been a lot of orientations and buying a crap, and so I have a lot going on. I got some work to do on my car. I got soap to make. um I got a lot of stuff going on, so just kind of bear with me there. For those of you who have purchased your transit watch tutorials this past week, I want to thank you for that. I really love doing the transit tutorials, um, and talking with people and seeing how the astrology kind of really lines up in terms of what people are picking up on their own or what struggles that they're going through. It's always funny when I do those because people, when I identify things for them just by looking at their chart, they're like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe, whoa, wow, that's so accurate. Oh my goodness. And so it's showing you through three different charts how to get three different stories about what's really happening in your lives. And it's really a great product. I also think I'm going to be offering gift vouchers. So let's say, for instance, some of you would like to gift a friend maybe a $7 or 30-day membership or a reading. That's going to fall into that pay it back or pay it forward rewards program. So like I said, just kind of give me some time and I'm gonna work that out for you and then send out the announcement once I get it all written out the way it is. Typically the first time you write something out and put it together, you see some holes or something that you missed. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and because I am behind schedule, I was on my butt watching the wedding. That royal swagger just tickled me. I was too tickled. And I think a lot of you probably aren't old enough to remember this. Or if you were young, um, you remember it. And I don't even know what I'm saying. But the last time we really saw Prince Harry in a public, I don't want to call it a spectacle, but in a public spectacle like that, was when he was 12 years old walking behind his mother's coffin being drawn on that wagon. And I can remember, I'm not a very emotional person, but I can remember just wailing, literally wailing at the sight of him walking one foot in front of the other with his head down and just crying, what's going to become of those boys? What's going to become of those boys now that they've lost their mother? And so to see the wedding today, uh, to the first American princess in the Windsor royal family, and that she is of African descent, as well, um, just kind of brought the legacy of his mom back home. Like the brief time that she was with them, the boys were 15 and 12 respectively. She was phenomenal. And I remember crying and going, God, if only she could see them. I know she was there, but had she been there in person, I just think she would have been thrilled and pleased. And so it has really been kind of this full circle kind of a thing. And it was really, really something to see. And I was so proud of them as if they were my own boys. I was so proud of them. And Harry has always been my most favorite prince because he just was who he was. He never kind of conformed to anything. He's a ginger. And so it was just a lovely, lovely opportunity to see how that whole story has come full circle. And when they came out to church and I heard them, native women, I don't know where they were from, but they were, I was like, oh hell yeah, black side being represented. So it was absolutely a fantastic thing if you didn't see it. Anyway, make a long story short, what we're dealing with is justice here. That's our Libra card, our partnership card. Let me put one more. Oh, and when they asked him, this is what tickled me the most. The priest, asked him, well, you love and honor her and cherish her, forsaking her above all others. And he just piped up really loud, I will. Not I do, I will. And the whole church just kind of broke out into laughter. That was absolutely adorable. So it was a great thing to see. I think in this time when everything is so negative and divisive, just a lovely, lovely thing to see. So let's get to the next row. This is where we are. This is what is happening. Justice. Here's our Eight of Pentacles. The card, eights are a card of a number of perfection. It means that you don't have very much left to do. But also, eights can be that idea of obstacles and hassles, just delays, okay? Here's a Two of Cups. Isn't this interesting? Partnership card. Here's a Four of Swords. Here is a King of Cups. And an Eight of Swords. Well, so some of you are dealing with a water sign, perhaps male. If this is same-sex or heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the male in the relationship. Water sign, he's going to be a Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces. If he is not an actual water sign, then this could be somebody who could be a counselor, could have something to do with the law and legalities. Someone who is kind and nurturing and patient, might be a bit, instability is not the word, might be a little, can either be very emotionally mature or somebody who fluctuates a lot in terms of their emotions, okay? And may not be very demonstrative, even if the person is a water sign. Here is a Queen of Pentacles. Here is a Knight of Wands. Here is a Three of Wands. Oh, wow. And an Ace of Cups. Well, isn't that interesting? And over the top of this is the Libra card. And this card is Libra. The Justice card is about not only secular law, but also karmic law. It tells me that right now something is hanging in the balance. It also, in a sense, speaks to people who are being just, fair, and responsible will be rewarded. Those who have not been will get their just desserts, so to speak. But the whole energy over this tells me in one respect, I don't have any fives here. This is what is interesting to me. There are no fives, and fives speak to the concept of change. Now I have two eights here, the eight of coins and the eight of swords. Two eights mean that you're going to, in one respect, receive news that will affect the relationship. For others of you, and it means that there are some, again, obstacles, hassles, and delays where things just don't seem to be going as you'd like them to, whether this is you or this individual that I'm looking at. Now I have three court cards here. I have a King of Cups, a Queen of Pentacles, and a Knight of Wands. Those of you who have been with me a while know that I do not read the Knights necessarily as people. I read the Knights as events that occur. Knights typically bring news and messages. Sometimes they bring gifts. He is traveling back this night. He is coming from the future to the past. So for some of you, I feel that this is about a message coming from somebody that you have known from your past. This is not the Mercury retrograde kind of a message, right? Y'all hear me talk about that all the time. Old lovers coming back. This is not that. Although this person is somebody from the past. But that person themselves seem to be caught between, for lack of a better term, a rock and a hard place right now. We have 4 swords on the left of this king and 8 swords on the right of this king. So whatever this 4 swords is, it is getting to the point where the person feels that they can't see their way out of a situation, or they feel trapped in a situation, or they feel as though they don't see I don't mean escape in the sense that somebody's running away, but they don't feel that there's a way for them to escape from this situation. They feel tied down. They're not seeing the bigger picture. What is underneath the deck? Well, it is the Wheel of Fortune. Isn't that interesting? Now, what's more interesting to me is this, because this last row, and this is our way through, our way out. This is our situation. These 2 cards, the 8 of Coins and the 2 of Cups, are the underlying situation. Okay? The 4 of this, I'm sorry, this row here with the 3 cards on it kind of represents the situation as it is right now. And then this is our way through. This represents our blocks, where we are right now. This is our way through. So in one respect, I'm also picking up that this Queen of Pentacles, earth sign, female, again, same-sex or heterosexual, whomever's going to take that role, Capricorn, Virgo, and or Taurus. Not only that, this person is nurturing, gentle, kind, efficient, detailed oriented, very grounded. I feel that this female is the way through for this particular male. Now, there is also an issue of the possibility of some kind of move. There is movement here. This could be a home move and or a change of address, or at least thoughts about it. And the reason why I say that is I have this 4 of Swords, and then I have these, there's that 3 of Wands. Somebody setting their ships out to sea, starting something, making something, building something. But with this Knight of Wands, this makes a 4 of Wands. So this is some kind of move, a base move. And when I mean a base move, this could be either a move for work or simply the idea that where somebody is located right now, they are contemplating, if not a move, then and or a visit. So the energy of this last row is going back this way. a new romance, a new partnership, but also a catharsis, the release of old things, old emotional patterns, and the opportunity to gain something new. I think whatever this thing is, underlying it is the element of wanting some kind of peace because of that dove there. Um, Peace of mind, peace of spirit, peace of heart, just some kind of peace of spirit, right? And it's descending down on this cup. And the descent of it into this cup is causing the release of a lot of emotions. Okay? A lot of things are happening in this card. There's a lot, even though that hand looks stationary holding that cup, it is the movement of the water that stands out the most for me. I feel that this person is mentally drained, maybe emotionally drained, and they know that something has to change. And through this opportunity, definitely it's coming. Through this opportunity, it is going to be the opportunity to join not only forces, but to in one respect, I'm getting travel, but also I can't get it out. I see the pictures in my head, but I can't put a word to it. What my guides are trying, and they're trying to give it to me in a symbol, so that I can. I just don't have the word for it right now. It is some kind of travel. But what I can't see, and that's so funny, what I'm unable to see is what the travel is for. Okay? I don't see the purpose underlying the travel. It's not as though the travel is simply because it's a new relationship opportunity. There's something much deeper to it than that. And what I keep getting is a tunnel. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but I keep getting a tunnel. But it's not dark in the tunnel. It's light. It's lit up all the way down, as if each move there's a light that comes on. That's the visual image that I'm getting. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. It also kind of represents this idea of somebody crossing a vast distance. We go from water, open water, to some kind of bluff or shore, then across this dry landscape to this place that's full, this garden that's full of delights. There's bunny rabbits and there's flowers, okay? There are these little nymphs all over her throne. Now, the other message of the 2/8 that's coming across is it speaks to some kind of self-confidence issues, and maybe that's what this this King of Cups is dealing with. But the Justice over these two cards tells me that, first of all, it's a timing card. So what this is telling me is that the time now has come. This is backed up by the Wheel of Fortune. Now, we know that the Wheel of Fortune can turn one way all the way, or it can turn another way, or sometimes it can just rock back and forth. So again, there's this idea of something being held in the balance, that there is much work to be done, and there's some perfecting of this to gain this balance, but that this balance is brought about by this either meeting or this partnership. You know, this keeps coming across to me as the month of August. the Destiny's Gate. So for some of you, this could be dealing with the Leo, even though he's showing up as a King of Cups. This card has Leo, Aries, and Sagittarian qualities. This is the airy part of fire, because it also has Geminian qualities due to the fact that it brings messages and news, communications and travel. Wow. It is the cards across the center. Again, I feel that this person themselves is on a trip of some sort. And they feel as though the Four of Swords is that card of taking a moment, taking a step back before moving forward with some kind of idea or decision. The Four of Swords is taking a break, a mental rest. So I'm also picking up that this is somebody you have not heard from. You may have been in contact with them recently, and recently can be, that's relative. But then there was some kind of miscommunication here, these three swords. But now we're putting that to rest. We're not focused on that. We're not concentrating on that. What we're trying to do is remove ourselves from that situation. We are ready, and when the time comes, we're going to come out from under that effigy and pick up this sword, which would make this a Nine of Swords. So again, this tells me that there's some kind of fear-based, or maybe guilt or conscience. Something is not right with this particular king. Not that he is a liar or a cheater or anything like that, but this is something that I think he himself is dealing with. He goes from floating on the wide open sea to finding himself standing in one spot with just this trickle of water. These are the emotions. Okay? But yet, I don't think he realizes that the reason he's in that position is because he himself keeps himself in that position. And maybe he does, and he just doesn't know how to. At the moment, he can't figure out. He doesn't see that he literally doesn't see a way out or through this. When all he has to do is just wiggle around a little bit. He'll break the binds that are tying him up, and he can remove and see that he's really not trapped in any circumstance. And I do feel that this Queen of Pentacles is vital, is key to this situation. There's something else. I want to read this, a meaning on this Three of Wands here, because my guides are showing me something, but it's not very clear, and that does happen sometimes. At least for me, some people their guides show them. My guides sometimes will shroud things in a fog. They'll plant that idea, but they don't reveal it to me up front. And typically, when that happens for me, that means I'm not supposed to know necessarily exactly what this is all about. That could be why the Wheel has come and the Justice card. I'm going to read to you the meaning of the Three of Wands. Tells of being a good friend and of someone who is willing to give help and assistance. It tells of cooperation, which will plant the seed for growth and success. This is the watering of it. The Three of Wands appears in a spread. When it appears, it may be indicating that the right partner or teammate will bring about a positive energy, which will enhance and bring about success on many levels. It may be indicating that someone of sound knowledge may be available to offer the assistance needed, so keep an open mind and ear. Creative influences are indicated when the Three of Wands appears in a reading, which may be related to a business venture or project, but it may also be relating to a new career, life path, or lifestyle. On a business and or financial level, the Three of Wands may be a message that seeds sown in the past will prosper and come to positive fruition. It asks that you remain positive and willing to work. The focus is on cooperation and business opportunities. This indicates a time of activity and moving forward. We see it here. It implies that progress is very much dependent upon luck. Although a positive beginning has been made, there is every reason to be optimistic about a future. Oh, wait, about the future. That's that luck. Oh, look, there's the World card underneath there. Well, I say. The Three of Wands is a 3, and threes in a reading suggest that there are more than one person involved. Remember I said that I've got these 3 court cards here, and that could be an indication with these 3 swords here. But it really, and another thing is there's 3 swords on this side and 5 on that side. I think the placement is also true. Suggests that more than one person is involved, and can also suggest that there will be a period of suspended activity before future successes are realized. There it is. The Three of Wands suggests that the end is in sight and only a little more is left to do. It suggests a tying up of loose ends and of someone who is coming to terms with past thoughts and who purposefully creates positive thoughts. Three of Wands indicates that you will feel pleased with how things are going, but should remember those who helped to make it possible. It asks that you remain optimistic, but should concentrate only on aspirations and goals that can be realized in order to avoid disappointments. Tells of having more than one outlet for your endeavor and signifies inner strength and power. Tells of someone knowledgeable that can give you the help you need, so now is the time to ask. Cooperation is the order of the day. Tells that opportunity comes by setting a new course in life. This really has to do with this person. But this person is key. Key. Now let me read to you these two. This 8 of Swords, because it's really trying to tell me something else and I can't quite figure it out. This is a right relationship, but there's something that we're mental processes, or at least the fear or the belief of that being released at some point, because we see that through fairness and right relationships, because that's what the house of partnership, 7th house, Libra, the fairness and the balance of it, something being worked on and perfected, but then having to take a step back associated with this Queen. So I do feel that it has to do with somebody from your past that you had to separate from, whether this was an actual, just, I think it's more that you, mentally, you've had to separate yourself from this situation. Taking a step back, so to speak. Let me read this 8 of Swords here. 8s appearing in a reading represent positive changes and a focus on imprisonment. You may be feeling unable to express your true feelings at this time. It's this King. The 8 of Swords tells of a feeling of being trapped in an uncomfortable situation. This situation is self-inflicted and or self-imposed and would be easy to be free of if an effort was to be made. With some clear thought, one is able to see themselves out of this situation. If one refuses to think and or see clearly, one will remain in this negative situation. And so that's why I feel that this person here, this Queen, has taken a step back. Okay? Now, for some of you, this might be you, the female, because it says the 8 of Swords tells of a lady who is trapped in a situation that is of her own making. The ties and bonds are loose, though, and can be shaken loose if she chooses to do so. Well, sometimes this is the feminine energy. Okay? It can tell of feelings of restrictions and of holding yourself back. Sometimes there's a sense of betrayal attached. Here's this 3 of Swords. It can indicate someone who is fearful of moving out of a situation and the feelings of with feelings of confusion and a lack of clarity. Appearing in a reading, it indicates that you are not bound in such a way that you could never hope to be free, and there is a feeling that this is a scene of temporary duration rather of bondage. Eight of Swords implies that you may become involved in several unsuccessful ventures in an attempt to gain freedom. Working very hard in partnership, but still feeling you can't get out of it. Isn't that weird? It suggests you seek advice from someone trusted and or of a professional nature. Restrictions may be causing you concern when the Eight of Swords appears in a reading. The Eight of Swords speaks of freedom and movement and a release of anxiety and tension after a difficult and or stressful period. A circumstance or situation that you may have been concerned or worried about will have a positive outcome. The Eight of Swords tells you to pay attention as some long-awaited news or information is on its way to you. The Eight of Swords suggests a desire to make changes and improve certain aspects of one's life, be it on the career or home front. At this particular time, though, only small achievements and improvements are likely to be made. This may be frustrating, but effort and perseverance will pay off in the long term. You are asked to keep this in mind. Although you may be feeling trapped by your situation, your mind is free and full of activity. You are asked to use this time to reflect on how the situation came about and how you will act once it's over. Once you are free of your current situation, you will feel a new sense of determination and personal strength. When the Eight of Swords appears in a reading, it may be an indication of the inability to make firm choices and decisions. It may also be telling of restrictions and the feeling of being tied into a situation you are not comfortable with. It tells of fear, hurt, and confusion. It also implies that if you worry continuously, you run the risk of becoming depleted of energy, leading to illness and disease. It implies that you are unable to think clearly, so it is advisable to seek sensible advice and take it. It may be warning you that continued stress, anxiety, worry, and tension will lead to ill health. Be wary of betrayal when the Eight of Swords appears in a reading. Keep your eyes and ears open and remain very aware at this time. You are asked to use your intuition and inner knowing. Now let's see if it tells me. Appearing in a reading, 2 eights, there may be a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. There it is. Isn't that interesting? Let's see if I can take a look at this Eight of Pentacles next to the Justice card. Any of these pip cards here next to the I just read the Three of Wands, so it didn't tell me anything about that. So I'm going to go to the Pentacles. It's more swords and wands than anything. There are 2 pentacles, 2 swords, perhaps 3 if we want to look at the Justice card there. There's 2 wands, and there's 3 cups here. Something is changing here, even though I don't necessarily see any cards of change. This is what is going to change it. Some message or news, even a visit, is going to change the situation. It's almost as if it's coming directly to you, whoever this is. Okay? 8 of Pentacles. Let's see. Nothing on the 8 of Pentacles. Let's take a look at this 2 of Cups. Then we're going to pull cards on this, and then we're going to close this reading out. Nothing on the 2 of Cups. 4 of Swords. This is a Jupiter in Libra card. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Justice is the Libra card. And so this is why I sense that this is somebody from the past. And perhaps from last year. During that time frame. 4 of Swords appearing with 3 or more court cards indicates that there are some misunderstandings and difficulties with current relationships. That's why this is over the top. This is somebody trying to work something out. With 3 or more court cards, it's a message not to proceed with any new ventures or relationships unless you feel absolutely secure. It is most important to check the fine details before proceeding, as there's a possibility of difficulties arising. That's what this card is telling me. This is why the person, for some reason, they think or feel or don't see their way out of a particular situation right now. And I'm not getting that this is some kind of cheating aspect, but it is definitely could be surrounding some legal aspect. Okay. Oh, I just read the Eight of Swords, didn't I? Let me go back and see that. Nothing. I read the Three of Wands. Now let me see if this Ace of Cups tells me anything overhanging this Justice card, or even this Wheel of Fortune, because it's over the whole reading. Okay. And then I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to pull Sibila's on this. Then we're going to pull a Heart Oracle card and close this reading out. Next to the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of overhanging, indicates that your financial position will be greatly improved in quick time. It also indicates that additional income or an influx of money is on the way. This is coming through a partnership, and I think there's more to the partnership than just business. With swords on all sides. It's not really on all sides, but we've got these swords hanging over. Indicates unsettled conditions in the home environment, that things within the family may be strained at this time. That just doesn't fit. I threw it out there, but it doesn't fit. Not what I'm feeling anyway. So let's go ahead and pull Sibila's on this Eight of Swords. There are no fives here. And to me, going from a 4 to an 8 tells me that not only have you taken a step back, but so has he. But I think he's struggling with it more, perhaps so, than you. You know, however that means. Okay. Wands typically speak to days and weeks. Definitely the time of Leo. That keeps coming across. And I think that's what, late? No? For some of you, it's going to be more than that. But maybe this situation will play out. No, it's going to be before that. My guides are clear about that. It's going to be before August. But you know, this could be the idea that maybe you met this person under last year's Destiny's Gate when Jupiter was in Libra. The Casa, the Gran Signore, and the Sospiri. Now, isn't that interesting? Two things. I think that this is from the Eight of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords over to the Queen of Pentacles. I think this was the idea, maybe for some of you, that this relationship wasn't going to work. You had hope for that. You don't see how that's going to occur now, that there's a separation here. But also sitting next to this, you see the Two of Cups come together, the Four taking a step back, and then boom, there's an opening. Something new occurs, an opportunity presents itself. So also sitting next to this King of Cups, because Sospiri is the sighing, the longing, the waiting. And I think this, in one respect, is the idea. I think this guy does want to be the Gran Signore, and he does want that stability and or security that partnership provides him. But he is not sure if his ship has come in or if his ship has sailed. He is not sure, but yet he longs for it. and he doesn't know what to do about it. Okay, so and this kind of, to me, kind of reads where in one respect he's fearful. He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. That's what I'm getting. Well, okay. Now, wow, that's deep. One of my, that's exactly, my guy just popped up and said, he's damned if he do, damned if he doesn't. And was quite annoyed. Oh, how funny. Sometimes my guys are funny. That he's quite annoyed by that. Well, what I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, really, what can you do? There's nothing you can do to make that person. It's something I think they're gonna have to work out, and clearly something is changing. Something will either occur or happen, and the change will come. Now, does that mean that the two of you may get together? I don't know. The reason why, well, Three of Wands. And this could be the idea that when the time comes, you're going to have to take the lead. Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting? Let's see what these cards have to say here. Enthusiasm, initiative, grounding, and creativity. Strong energies for success are around you as new opportunities are opening up. Tap into this energy to fire up your relationships and bring you all that you desire regarding matters of the heart. Call down the divine flame to ignite your passion and show you the way to achieve your deepest wishes. Don't wait for the other person to make a move. Take the initiative and be bold. Now is not the time for the status quo. Use this beautiful fiery energy to explore new possibilities. How can you spice up current relationships? How about learning a new skill with your friend or taking the family on a special vacation? If you're looking for a new relationship, then think creatively and try new ways of meeting people. Step out of your comfort zone and be a little daring. And this could actually be the idea that maybe when you hear from this person or this opportunity presents itself, you're just going to have to say yes. Okay? Yes. So say the person contacts you and say, hey, well, look, I'm in town and I'm here on business and I know things didn't end well with us, or it's, been kind of all over the place, but I was wondering if you'd have dinner with me. Say yes. Okay? Just say yes. That's all you have to do. So that's what I have for you. I hope that message helped. And until next time, namaste.